do anything about it. It's just, forget it.
No,
know?
If somebody comes into my house in the middle of the night, I have an automatic assumption that that person presents a grave physical threat to me and my family, and I'll act on it.
Darn right. Darn right. In this day and age, how can you not, you know?
But, well, I mean, what's with the damn Cobb County Police, giving aid and comfort to this burglar? Saying, telling people, don't shoot him. Don't shoot him. If you do, we're going to have to punish you. How about some police officer saying the best possible thing that could happen is if some homeowner wakes up in the middle of the night and blows this guy away?
Well, I lived in Kennesaw for a long time where, you must have a gun in the house, and that was always very comforting to me. The idea that crooks know that a lot of guys have a gun. So
my sneaky suspicion is that the rank and file police officers would like to see him blown away.
Oh, sure, it saves paperwork.
Yeah, it's only the police officers that have a political loyalty that make absurd statements like that.
Either that or he just wasn't thinking about what the hell he was saying.
Well, it's just, of course, it takes a jury. It takes a jury. And if I ever, which I won't, get caught on a jury where a man is on trial for defending his home and his property against an intruder, then that man is walking.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Okay. Hey, thanks a lot, sir.
Take care.
And that's another thing, folks. And I ask you out there, those of you that go to jury duties, regardless of what the law says, and you are entitled to nullify laws in the jury room if you feel a compelling case to do so. Regardless of what the law says, if you ever sit on a jury and there is a homeowner who has shot an intruder, and then or a business owner who has shot a robber or a burglar, and the prosecutor says, well, he has to show that he was in danger for his life. You can't just shoot somebody for breaking into your home. You just kind of nod to yourself and say, yeah, right, counselor. And then when you get in the jury room, you make damn sure that guy is never convicted. It's time for the good guys to win a few out there. 27 and a half minutes after the hour. 872-0750. Ronald, George, Michael, Dan. We'll put you all on the air. And just that testosterone thing again. Yes, danger, raging testosterone. We'll be back after the news ferrets have their way with you. Is it going to be a testosterone news ferret, Royal, or a progesterone news ferret? Oh, I see. Okay, that's fine.
People in society that can't make it working like the rest of us have to get afforded all these extra opportunities while they're in your house rummaging through the crap you've, as you said, put your life into earning.
Yeah.
And now we're going to have the police stand up for that man and warn him that he could be in danger from taking a bullet from one of these property owners.
Yeah, that's what really gets on my nerves, is that the concern that these police officers yesterday was expressing sounded like concern for what could happen to the poor burglar.
That's right. And that's the way it is, too. And we used to have a couple sayings when I was working the street, too, and one of them was, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6.
Yeah.
It's not worth waking up in the middle of the night seeing somebody standing there in your hallway and going, excuse me, if you don't mean me any harm, just go ahead and get on with what you're doing there. What's that? I don't know. Does the burglar break into your house, according to Ted Kennedy, walk into your house and say, I'll be robbing you now, could you please leave?
Basically that is what Ted Kennedy wanted. If you're confronted...
Does it smell with his head up there? I don't know what he's thinking.
I don't know. I think the booze has pretty much killed his olfactory senses anyway, so...
I don't know. I almost think that we almost have a social responsibility to help. I don't want to get into vigilante stuff because I'm not a violent person unless it's absolutely necessary. But good Lord, we watch somebody violate the laws and then we're supposed to turn our head or leave our home while they do it? I don't understand.
No, I don't understand it either. It makes absolutely no sense to me. No sense at all. And it's time for us to tell these politicians out there, we have and we demand the right to protect our homes and our property. Now you do whatever you need to do up there in the legislature to make sure we can do that.
Exactly. Of course, the legislators, there are a lot of these bleeding heart liberals, too, and that's the problem. The people that are making the laws or are helping us supposedly pass these laws are the ones that are making $150,000 to $250,000 a year defending just these type of people anyhow.
What would be the matter? Seriously, what is the matter with a law that says if you find somebody in your home that does not have your permission to be there, and they are in that home committing a crime against you or your right to your property, that you are legally justified in shooting them or using deadly force against them? If they survive, then the police will ask them what they were doing there.
I see nothing wrong with that.
I don't either.
I almost think you have a responsibility. What if you've got children in the home? What if you have a wife in the home? What am I going to do? There's a guy in the home. I can't shoot him because I'm not personally afraid of my life.
Well, let's be perfectly fair here, and that is, if you're afraid for the life of your family members or anybody else, you can also use that deadly force.
Well, that's my point.
But I am going to make the automatic assumption somebody's in my house. They are there to hurt me.
I agree, and God save the fellow who's in my house when he's not supposed to in the middle of the night.
Well,
because that's his only chance, really.
Yeah, let God sort it out. Indeed. Hey, thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Neal.
I appreciate it.
Fight.
Okay, it just galls me. This burglar, if he was watching TV last night, yeah, that's right, man. You people better not shoot me. Better not shoot me, because like that cop there said, you shoot me, and you're going to go to jail. So just let me do my thing. I'll be, and go. And then how do you replace that portion of your life that burglar just walked out of the house with? How do you replace that? I don't know. 872-0750, that's the number. It's Karen. She's in Dunwoody. Hi.
Neal, I can't help but agree with you 100%. I mean, I look at it from a woman's point of view. I'm frequently home alone with my young daughters. And what if this cat burglar decides he wants to rape us too? Is he going to pay for all the psychological counseling that me and my children would need? I mean, I'm not going to sit around and wait. Hey, maybe he's going to decide to rape us too.
Yeah, but you have the rights. He doesn't. I mean, no, excuse me. In the views of some people, he has all of the rights. You don't. After all, you're just a rich East Cobb County homeowner.
Dunwoody, or as you say, Dumpwoody.
Yeah, Dumpwoody, yeah.
It just burns me up. I would want to protect my family and my children and not worry about the consequences later. I mean, who wants to go through such trauma like that? I would rather hit, stab, whatever, and ask questions later. Hey, did you decide you were going to rape us too while you were taking my PCR?
Why can't the law clearly make that our prerogative? Why can't the law clearly state that we have the right to use deadly force against anybody? For instance, now Dan is going to tell us about a great law that's on the books up there in Maine. But there's a law in Texas, too. And that law is, after the sun goes down, if you catch somebody on your property without permission, and you have reason to believe that they're there for the purpose of committing a crime, they don't have to be a threat to your physical safety. You just have to believe they're there to commit a crime. You can shoot them. You can shoot them. And why can't we have some version of that law in Georgia where the threat is placed on the burglar or the robber, not on the victim?
Well, I certainly think we need that, too. I mean, that burglars have to think that there are...
There's a real Rob.
Yeah, I need that death shroud I was wearing on the air yesterday. I was actually doing part of the show yesterday wearing a death shroud, a big black shroud, and Belinda didn't like it.
Belinda. And
you lived in Maine?
Yeah.
What part?
20 miles outside of Portland.
Yeah, see, we just made our first vacation up there 2 weeks ago, stayed in Kennebunk Beach, and really had a great time.
20 miles from my house.
Yeah.
But anyhow, about 4 years ago, the legislature passed a law relative just what you're speaking about that empowered a homeowner, an apartment renter, anybody living within a home, to shoot and defend themselves against burglars or break-ins, to the extent that all you need to do is tell the person to leave the home. At that point, should they choose not to, you're perfectly empowered to shoot that person. In the city of Westbrook 2 years ago, a kid came home drunk one night, and having been up there, you've seen they have these row houses, and they all look just the same. So this guy staggered into what he thought was his own house, but it wasn't, even though it looked like it.
Yeah.
And he was drunk.
Yeah.
And the homeowner told him to leave. Kid didn't leave, shot him. The police attempted to charge the homeowner, and the Attorney General said, excuse me, the law says you have to tell the person to leave. If they do not, the legislature has empowered the citizenry to go ahead and shoot the person.
Hey, you know what? Kid's tough luck. He was drunk.
That's right.
And hey, that's life in the big city. The safety and sanctity of the home comes far above the alleged rights of a drunk teenager.
It used to be, well, actually, the guy's about 23. It used to be the notion of, that the home is a castle. And, you're absolutely right. I've been in the business about 28 years all told, and I've taught at universities and police academies and so forth.
Are you in the security business, or?
No, right now I've changed careers. I'm enjoying something entirely different in the retail market at this point.
Okay.
Quite a bit of fun with it. But having done all those things, having been a police officer, having worked in federal penitentiaries and so forth, I can tell you that, the kinds of laws that disallow the ordinary citizen to protect themselves are absolutely heinous. And they are driven by, and I love your term, the candy-ass liberal point of view. The notion that someone shouldn't be able to protect themselves is absolutely ridiculous. My only concern, Neal, is you need to be very careful. I think that you may be putting yourself in jeopardy by telling people how to get away with it. But God bless you.
Well, how can I put myself in jeopardy?
Oh, some damn lawyer will find some way to sue you.
Oh, really?
Oh, sure.
For exercising my right of free speech?
Well, who knows? I mean, maybe you can, I'm just worried. If you got police and you have, I'm listening to this thing about these three kids, and if you have prosecutors that are willing to try to put people in jail for things that seem a bit spurious, certainly somebody may have some sort of gumption to come after you, and if they do,
hey,
God
listen,
bless you.
I just hope they spell my name right and get the call letters in there now too.
It's funny because every time I've been threatened to be sued, I always ask them to spell the name right.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good show.
In this case, I want them to get the call letters in there too, because that's important.
Well stated, sir.
Okay, thanks a lot.
You have a great day.
Yep, bye. 8720.
On Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh, wrong button. Sorry. I'm getting used to this. That is the one button that we have this huge console in here for. Oh, Royal. On the issue of the new building, I've got some great news for you. I was in a planning meeting for the new building yesterday afternoon.
Yeah.
We're going to have touch-tone phones.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
We're getting rid of the rotary phones.
My finger thanks you.
Yes. Well, is that the same one you're always waving at me from? Yes, we're all so very familiar with Belinda's finger, but we do. We're going to get rotary, we're going to get touch-tone phones in the new building, and that is a glorious moment. 872-0750, that's the number. This is News Talk 750 WSB and the Neal Boortz Show. I want to keep you apprised of some of the things that are coming up. Now, there was negotiated recently a trade agreement between China.
Later, he sued them for $3 million, claiming they should have known he was psychotic. Tom Glavine pitches for the Braves tonight in L.A. as they finish their two-game set with the Dodgers. They won last night 4-3. Catch all the action starting with the Skip Carey Show at 9:07 in your exclusive station for Braves baseball, News Talk 750 WSB. This news is sponsored by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Straight ahead, weather time soon.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Bob. One passerby here in Grant Park told me this gathering looks more like a party than strike talks. The 100 or so Wildcat strikers have given no indication they'll be returning to work anytime soon, and there is the call this morning for other classified workers in the school system to join the sick out.
Cooks, the custodians, the mechanics and engineers, all of us should join the bus drivers.
Pat Green is a stenographer. 102 bus drivers called in sick this morning, sending the school system into an emergency mode. Now, this Wildcat strike is all about more pay, but the bus drivers union has not signed off on this strike. Reporting live from Grant Park, Richard Sangster, News Talk 750 WSB.
Atlanta temperature at 11 o'clock, 70 degrees. Today's weather, a few scattered thunder showers, possibly returning by evening, high 81. This news is sponsored by Emory Healthcare. Other stories we're following. A Cobb State Court jury is hearing testimony from Brett Tunkin's neighbors today in his vehicular homicide trial. Covering the trial for us and reporting live, WSB's Sandra.
That Belinda still can't spell. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Neil. How you doing?
Okay, fine.
Well, it's just another, I guess it's another thing, another example of political correctness gone crazy. But this is, basically, this comes from, I've read articles about this in the past. It's a part of the Back to Africa movement, where things that they do in Africa are exalted and taken to ridiculous heights. There's a tribe in Africa.
This is getting thick already. There's a tribe in Africa.
There is a tribe in Africa that the tradition among the women is that no woman, they would be shamed if any woman is ever seen with a hairstyle that has ever been seen before on any other woman in the tribe in history. I mean, somehow I guess they keep up with.
Somebody's got a catalog.
Somebody's keeping up with the hairstyles, but each day, each woman in the tribe occupies most of their time, except for eating, I guess. They have to come up with a new hairstyle every day of their life, forever. Every woman in the tribe has to do that.
Now, I know a lot of people out there are laughing, but I do remember reading a news magazine article about this, which clearly stated that every woman in this tribe is charged with the responsibility every single day of wearing a hairstyle that is completely original.
Totally new. And it's not just for them or new to them, it's new for the tribe, for the history of the tribe. I don't know how far back they go. But this is an example of something that, apparently this, they don't have a whole lot to do over there, but maybe it's just something to keep them busy. But to take that and transplant it over to our society, where we've got a lot of things to do. You got to get educated. You got to, take care of your kids. You got to do all kinds of things. And to take that kind of tradition and transplant it over here is totally out of place. But that's where I think that's where the peer pressure comes in, and it's a status symbol of like nails and hair, and it's not just ethnic. It's people in general are so subject to peer pressure, and it just directs their lives.
Well, it's ninja. I think you're right. I read the story, and I always have this deliciously insensitive thought that my goodness, if it was as important to that person that they develop job skills and learn how to speak English correctly as it is that they have a different hairstyle every day, think how much better off they'd be. But hey, different strokes.
Well, the problem comes in when non-productive or counterproductive styles are exalted as this is what you need to do. And it's not just to one particular group; it applies to a lot of different groups. And I don't know how.
By the way, okay. We've covered that, but I want to ask you, have you heard of the most deliciously politically correct, insensitive thought of the day?
No, I haven't.
I covered it earlier on the show this morning. It was this Bill Maher on Politically Incorrect that said this last night.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
I've been in and out of the truck, sorry.
Well, it is so deliciously insensitive that I really regret the fact, and I apologize to the listeners that I'm not the one responsible for it. He was talking, he said that 400 Haitians drowned in a ferry accident off the coast of Haiti the other day.
Right, I heard about that.
He said a tragedy was averted when it was discovered that there was no princess on board the ferry.
Oh, no.
Oh, jeez, that's... Hey, thanks for the call, sir.
Thanks.
Yeah. By the way, last night, Princess Di has been dead for 10 days now. Buried for 3 or 4. Okay? Last night on the news, she still had about 9.5 minutes of the news, whereas Mother Teresa only had about 2 minutes of the network newscasts. And I tell you what, It seems to me like the emphasis is being placed on the wrong syllable around there. 16 minutes after 11 o'clock, Neal Boortz. This is News.
We in Tucker are very embarrassed about our neighbors in Emory and the Druid Hills voting Cynthia Tucker as our representative. But I was calling. I haven't heard your comment on that.
Now, you know, I got to say, Cynthia Tucker is really a sweet, nice lady. It's just that she's a socialist and doesn't have any place being in government.
Bingo. We're really embarrassed here in Tucker, but what can we do about it? We didn't draw the lines.
Yeah.
But you haven't commented on those poor, sick, quarantined school bus drivers in Grant Park this morning.
Quarantined?
Yeah. Well, they're sick.
Yeah, they're sick. They ought to be jobless by tomorrow if they don't come in with some proof that they're sick.
Oh, but they won't. I mean, they have all the bureaucracy of the Atlanta Public School and their union and all that.
I want to hear them testify.
Well, most parents wouldn't give their 16-year-old a loaded gun.
Well, these parents did, and 3 people got killed. Thanks a lot, sir. But let's just hope, and we'll know maybe by the beginning of snipers, photographers. Interesting. And you hear what happened to Sylvester Stallone? Did you hear? Great story. Sylvester Stallone is one of those that was harshly critical of the paparazzi and the media after the death of Princess Diana. Oh, he was super critical. And then a couple of days later, he showed up. I mean, he said some ugly things about photographers and the paparazzi. A couple of days later, he shows up in Italy to promote the groundbreaking for one of his new Planet Hollywood restaurants. So here are all the photographers lined up behind the ropes. Everything's all set for this great groundbreaking ceremony, or whatever it was. Here comes Sylvester Stallone, steps up there, and none of the photographers raised their camera to take a picture. They just sat there and looked at him while he went through the whole groundbreaking thing. And listen, they just sat there and looked at him. Not one picture was taken. Yeah. Aren't you all going to take any pictures? Yeah, go run into a wall. See if that
Scott
works.
Slade here. We expect developments later today in these stories you heard first on Atlanta's Morning News.
What about the kids? What about the kids? How are they going to get to school?
We'll find out if Atlanta school bus driver wildcat strike will have any real impact.
I was scared of what would happen if everybody in my car got caught.
Testimony continues in the vehicle manslaughter trial of a man who chased high school kids after they rolled his yard. And a former cabinet officer is in court today on charges he got personal gain from his office. There's a Georgia connection. Start every morning with live team coverage of the top local stories on News Talk 750 WSB. Depend on it.
The date is May 1996. The location, OR 18 at Piedmont Hospital in Atlanta. The patient
truck and went after them.